Any weightlifting regimen must be accompanied by adequate stretching. Lifting for years on end without doing any stretching work is like driving a car for years on end without ever getting a wheel alignment. Eventually, catastrophe is gonna strike. Why do I have to stretch? Recovery and mobility. What lifting does is it crunches those muscle fibers together and makes them tighter. And what stretching does is it elongates those muscle fibers. So if you just go about lifting and lifting and lifting without doing any recovery work, your tendons, your ligaments, and your joints are going to begin to beg you for a good stretch in the form of pain. The best way to implement recovery work into your routine would be doing active dynamic stretches before you lift. Either before you lift or when you wake up first thing in the morning, before you eat breakfast. I like to do that to wake up my body, get the joints all lubricated and warmed up and ready for the day. For the slower flow static stretching sessions, I like to place those before bed or after a lifting session to get the body and the muscles relaxed after pushing them to the limit. What the active stretches do, the dynamic warm-ups, which I do have uploaded on my channel already, they lubricate the joints, they activate the muscle fibers before you go in lifting heavy ass weights, so you don't injure yourself. Some of the most common lifting injuries can be avoided by simply putting some time into some mobility work. I'd say at least 65% of the American population can't get down into a full squat. 65% of the population can't do an ass to grass squat right now. What that really comes down to is mobility. People just aren't flexible enough. People will have tight calf muscles, tight hip flexors, poor ankle mobility. People just simply aren't flexible enough to get down in that full squat position. So some simple active stretches before you lift is going to help you lubricate the joints. It's going to help you get all nice and warmed up before your lifting session. And on the flip side of the active stretching, what you have is the static stretching. The active stretching is more movement oriented, as opposed to static stretching, which is best done after a workout or before bed. And that's because static stretching has a very relieving and restful effect on the body. Static stretching involves a lot less movement and more resting into postures. Resting into postures and just breathing, allowing oxygen to flow straight to that muscle that's being stretched. You rest into the postures for about 30 seconds to 2 minutes in order to elongate the muscles and the tendons. Static stretching will help you get your range of motion on point, along with really getting your posture on point. A lot of people have knocked knees. A lot of people walk around with anterior pelvic tilt. With stretching, you can directly target the part of the body that is causing your postural imbalance. For instance, people with anterior pelvic tilt have a tight lower back with tight hip flexors, along with weak glutes and weak abdominal muscles. So in order to correct this imbalance, directly stretching the tight hip flexors and the lower back is half the battle. Yoga combines physical postures with breathing exercises, which puts the user in a meditative state, and which can help activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for relaxation. Numerous studies have shown that yoga can reduce stress and anxiety. For example, a 2016 review of randomized controlled trials found that yoga was equally as effective as cognitive behavioral therapy in terms of reducing anxiety symptoms. So on top of the pure physical benefits of yoga, it really just improves the overall quality of life. Those slower flow yin yoga sessions are also very valuable for relaxing the body before bed. I'm talking about those sessions where you allow your body to sink into the poses, taking deep breaths, allowing oxygen to flow into the muscles. Really adds great value to the bedtime routine. Speaking of the bed, static stretching might be the second best feeling in this life next to sex. I'm not even going to rank them. I'm going to say sex, good food, and static stretching. Once or twice a week, that's all I need. That's all I need, maybe once or twice a week, 10 to 15 minutes. Recovery shouldn't be something that you dread, something that you avoid. It should be something that you look forward to. So to conclude this video, it's real simple, my people. Do about 5 to 10 minutes of mobility work, some active stretching before you go in lifting. And after you lift or before bed, do some static stretches at least once a week. At least once a week, roll out the mat, get some static stretches in. Take care of yourself. Treat your joints, treat your muscle fibers, treat your ligaments. If you found this video entertaining or useful, please share it with friends, share it on socials, share it with family. Leave a like and subscribe if you aren't already. Peace out, my people. We're going to return to our mats and just lie here for about 1